What do you make of the Philadelphia Eagles offense? They looked unstoppable in Week 1 against the Washington Redskins. Then they slowed down and eventually ground to a total halt in Week 7 and 8, failing to score an offensive touchdown against the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants, who have two of the worst defenses in the NFL. So at that point, heading into last week's game in Oakland, most people thought that NFL defensive coordinators had figured out Chip Kelly's run-based spread offense. And then we have last week. They exploded for 49 points against the Oakland Raiders, who had been playing very well on defense this year and had an extra week to prepare for the Eagles. Nick Foles tying an NFL record with 7 touchdown passes in that game. So where does that leave us now? Looking at the entire body of work, they're 4th in the NFL in total yards per game, 13th in points per game, also 4th in rushing offense. So this has been a good offense, no doubt about it, even though they've been totally shut down at times. But again, in hindsight, it looks like those Dallas and New York Giant games were outliers. It looks like those were the games that were flukes, if you will, and that this is a good offense because other than that, they've been able to produce. Now, those games were just a couple of weeks ago, Week 7 and Week 8. So if bettors are a little hesitant to embrace this Philadelphia team right now, that is certainly understandable. One thing we do know about the Eagles is they have a bad defense. Philadelphia last in the NFL in total defense, meaning yards allowed. They're also last in passing defense. So a couple of weeks ago, when you looked at their matchup this week against the Green Bay Packers, you thought the Eagles were going to be in big trouble. However, last week, Green Bay quarterback Aaron Rodgers breaking his collarbone. So Seneca Wallace is at quarterback for the Packers this week. The Green Bay offense did not look very good against a bad Chicago defense after Rodgers went out of last week's game. And I know Wallace has had a week now to prepare with the offense, practice with the first team, but I don't have high expectations for the Green Bay offense with Seneca Wallace under center this week or going forward. Because remember, the Green Bay offense has suffered some serious injuries this season. Randall Cobb, probably the best wide receiver on that team, still not playing. James Jones in and out of the lineup with injury problems. Expect them to lean on the running of Eddie Lacy, and Lacy's been excellent this season, his rookie season. But Philadelphia better against the run than they are against the pass. If you're going to get that Eagles defense, good idea to get them in the secondary. Just not sure Green Bay is well equipped to do that right now, which is obviously unusual when you're talking about the Green Bay Packers. So I do have a lean towards Philadelphia in this game. I believe that Chip Kelly offense is going to maybe not produce 49 points like they did last week, but I think we're going to see an offense closer to what they were last week than to the offense we saw in Week 7 and 8. Philadelphia has been excellent on the road this season. They're 4-1 on the road, 0-4 at home. This game is in Green Bay. I like the Eagles' chances here. Think they're going to put up some points. Green Bay, a very average defense, 15th in yards allowed, 14th in points allowed. And they should be able to get something going against this Philadelphia defense, even with Seneca Wallace at quarterback, but I don't think they're going to be able to keep up in this game. I think Nick Foles and the Eagles are going to be able to outscore the Packers and come out with a win on Sunday.